This is Jeff Breedlove with the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, and I'm back up in Banks County. It's just a beautiful part of Georgia with Susan Sorrows, and we're talking about the Community Recovery Center. Big vote on Tuesday, 4 August. The recovery community is gathering at the Banks County Courthouse Annex at 4:30 in support of the vote that night. Invite everybody in the Georgia recovery community to meet us. There's a great image on our Facebook page and on Divas Who Wins with the address. But Susan, we're so proud of what you're doing, but I want to talk a little bit about why you're doing this.
Yes, Jeff. I was in addiction for a good 15 years of my life. I sold drugs, I robbed people, I did things really out of my character that you just wouldn't normally do, sober or clean.
You know, and I was arrested on a felony charge, and I just got off probation yesterday. But we've all done things in our active addiction that define the disease, but they don't really define the person. And I believe, as a Christian, as a person of faith, that recovery is real, and that everybody gets another chance, and that redemption is real. And you are living that out loud with what you're doing right now. Tell us why you want to do what you want to do here in Banks County to help the women of Banks County.
Well, I want to be closer to my son and my daughter-in-law. We didn't speak for 3 years while I was in active addiction, and now I have that relationship back. And Banks County is a beautiful county, but it has no resources to help these women, to get them back to their families, and to make this community safer.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I was estranged from my father for a while, and you, because of recovery, this is the power of recovery, why it's real, is you now have a extraordinarily healthy relationship with not only your oldest son, but with all of your son and your daughter-in-law. And you're not just doing it privately, but you're willing to give back to the community. You're showing not only the power of recovery, but you're showing what Banks County wants from leaders. You're trying to help on an important issue. And that's wonderful. So tell us a little bit about what kind of difference having the Community Recovery Center in Banks County will make for the women of Banks County.
Well, it'll be a safe environment for them to become back productive, to get back to their church, to do a 12-step program. They will stay busy, and to get their families back, where a lot of them went through the same thing me and my son did, or they come in a program like that. They need to restore their families.
So we'll conclude this with two things. First of all, Banks County right now is the exception to the rule. I mean, a lot of counties in rural Georgia have at least one resource for women in recovery. But Banks County doesn't have anything, isn't that true?
Yes, the only thing that is actually in Banks County, unfortunately, is addiction.
That's right. And so people might say, well, will this make Banks County safer or more dangerous? Well, I think it's going to make it safer. Tell me what you think, because when you have an option for people to seek recovery, that's always better than no options at all.
Yes, and a lot of times people, they want to stay closer to their families in Banks County, and they don't have that option to get the recovery they need in the county they're from. And we have a very safe house. We have cameras, we have staff here all the time, and we're just trying to make it a loving environment for these girls to get well.
Well, we've been working with the leadership of Banks County. We thank them for listening to us. It's an important vote here in Banks County, but it basically is going to come down to a vote between supporting recovery and empowering women and saving their lives are a vote for the status quo, where there's already drugs, there's already crime, and there's already addiction. And Banks County gets to decide if they want to be a part of Georgia that's supporting women in recovery, or if they're dissatisfied with the way things are now. But Susan Sorrows and the Community Recovery Center, your family, you're giving back in the way that I think would make anybody in Banks County proud, and we thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you, and remember, recovery is real.